very, very skeptical of witnesses. Anything changed, or are you a no when it comes to that vote, Senator?
Yeah, it has changed, and it's changed to the point where I'm absolutely certain that we don't need witnesses. We don't need to drag this out any longer. We should move as quickly as we can to get this thing over with, get it behind us.
How long have you felt that way, Senator? How many days?
Well, increasingly it's become clear to me. This question and answer period was initially reasonably productive and useful. Now it's become very, very repetitive. This is a very, very partisan attempt to discredit the president in an election year. The real danger here is the House managers and the House has established a very, very low bar for removing a president from office, and that's a dangerous thing for the country. It guarantees that impeachment becomes a weaponized political tool. Very bad idea. We should reject these articles and be done with this.
If you're right, then you likely will have a vote on that tomorrow. Where are the votes today, do you believe?
I'm not sure. I think it's quite close, but I think tomorrow the vote will be on whether or not to prolong this, to delay this, drag this out, and bring in who knows how many or which witnesses. I hope that we will agree not to do that. I think it's very close. I think we have a good chance that we'll be able to prevail with that. And then I think our Democratic colleagues could drag this out for a bit, but it won't be terribly long before we vote on the final verdict.
Pardon for the interruption. Senators Collins, Murkowski, Romney, where are they now? Have you spoken to them?
I've not directly spoken with them since the Q&A began, so I'm not sure where they are as of now.
The reason I asked that, if you lose 3, you're at 50-50. Have you thought about that possibility?
We have, of course, I have. As you know, this is constructed as a motion that would allow for witnesses. If it goes at 50-50 under the rules of the Senate, that fails on a tie vote. So it would fail, and that means witnesses would not be allowed, and we'd be able to proceed to a verdict.
And that verdict, in all likelihood, would be an acquittal because you're not going to get the 67 votes in either article. We agree on that. However, if it's a 50-50 even split, how is that perceived by the American public, do you think? How do they take that?
Look, I think the important thing to focus on here is what is the role of a witness? What's the purpose of a witness? The purpose of a witness in a trial is not to just tell an interesting story. The purpose of a witness is to shed light on an important fact, to provide resolution to an issue that's in dispute, the resolution of which could determine the outcome. For me, the House has presented articles of impeachment that do not rise to impeachable offenses. They've alleged actions that you cannot impeach a president for. This idea of obstruction of Congress because the president invoked the constitutional rights that every president has, and almost all of them have invoked, that's ridiculous, and it's dangerous. And similarly on the first article. So for me, even if someone believes that everything John Bolton says is going to confirm what's charged in these articles, it's still not impeachable.
We're coming up on the 4 o'clock hour. Just one more question, sir. If you're right, you get a 50-50 and this trial comes to a rapid close on witnesses, correct? Are you done by Friday night, or what would the time frame be?
I think it could. First of all, I'm not predicting that. You were positing that scenario, and I was just explaining what happens if it's 50-50. I think final resolution occurs on the Saturday or Monday, and I think a lot depends on what is the will of other senators. Do they want to get to a final vote quickly, or do they want to drag it out for a day or two? But if there are not witnesses, it doesn't extend way into next week.
Senator, thank you for your time. Pat Toomey, the Republican from Pennsylvania. Thank you, sir. We'll let you get back inside the chamber. Thank you. Back with Brett Baer and Josh Holmes, Greg Nunziata, and Richard